The DNC process is stifling debate at a time when we need it most. We're rewarding celebrity candidates with millions of Twitter followers, billionaires who buy their way onto the debate stage, and candidates who have been running for president for years. These rules have created exactly the wrong outcomes, and they will not help us beat Donald Trump.
That's Senator Michael Bennet, one of the Democrats running for president who did not meet the DNC's criteria to make the stage for our debate on Thursday. Criteria set by our next guest, the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Tom Perez. Mr. Chairman, thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to be with you.
I want to get to that in a minute, but let me play off first.
Sure.
We just saw Nate Silver, and you saw our ABC News poll with the Washington Post up at the top of this program. It does appear that those top three candidates, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, are kind of pulling away from the rest of the pack. Is that the kind of winnowing you expected when you set the criteria for these debates?
Well, it's always been up to the voters. And what we've done, George, from the outset is set transparent rules, set a fair bar for people, communicate it to the candidates well in advance so they know the rules of engagement. For this debate coming up, and I'm really looking forward to working together with ABC, there were 21 polls that counted, and you needed to get 2% in 4 of them. So you had to bat a little under 200 to get into this debate stage. And I think giving that opportunity is really helpful. It's going to be up to the voters to decide who this candidate is. And I think our process has been the most fair, transparent, inclusive process in the history of a Democratic primary. I understand. I'm a big fan of Michael Bennet, by the way. I've worked with him. I campaigned for him. He's a great guy. Our field is deep. But we're reaching a point now where voters are differentiating, and that's what it's about. And candidates have to demonstrate progress as we get closer and closer to Iowa and New Hampshire.
But the way it's set up, it is very possible that next month's debate will actually be back to 2 nights, correct?
Well, we'll see. We've set the debate threshold. Again, you need to get to 2% in at least 4 polls, and we will see. Your poll this morning wouldn't change what the makeup would be. We will see what other ones are. And then as we get toward November, December, obviously, we will continue to raise the bar of participation because that's what we've always done. As we get closer and closer, people have to make progress. 2%, quite frankly, is a very reasonable bar.
A lot of polls right now show several of the Democratic candidates pretty handily beating President Trump if the election were indeed to be held today. But a lot of Democrats are concerned that if you don't win back the Senate, the agenda will be stalled, even if Democrats take back the White House. We saw John Hickenlooper leave the presidential race, go run for Senate in Colorado. Should candidates like Beto O'Rourke, Steve Bullock consider doing that if their campaigns don't take off soon?
Well, that'll be up to those candidates to decide what's in their best interest. I'll say this. I'm bullish about the Senate. I was in Colorado this week. I think we have a great chance there with a wide field of candidates. I'm very bullish on Mark Kelly in Arizona. We've got opportunities in North Carolina where Tillis is underwater. In Maine, we have a really good field of candidates, and Senator Collins is exceedingly vulnerable. We got opportunities in Iowa, in Montana, and elsewhere. I'm very bullish. And the opportunity we have, George, in not only the Senate but the White House and in state houses across the country is that the Republicans are so off to the extreme, and the Democrats are fighting for the issues that people care about. Healthcare is still the #1 issue in America. If you have a pre-existing condition, it's Democrats who are on your side. 90% of the American people want background checks, and Moscow Mitch won't do it. You look at all of the issues that matter. 80% of American people want to help Dreamers, but no, the Republicans won't do it. They've become such an extreme party that I think we have opportunities in the Senate and in the House. The reason so many House members on the Republican side are retiring is because they understand that their party has become so extreme. So I'm very optimistic, not only about the White House, but about the Senate and state houses and expanding Speaker Pelosi's margins in the U.S. House.
We saw Howard Schultz drop his independent bid for the White House this week. Some Democrats are concerned that Tulsi Gabbard is considering a third-party run. Now, she says she's ruled it out. But, you know, you look, there's an argument that Ralph Nader in 2000, Jill Stein in 2016 cost Democrats the White House. What are you doing to forestall the possibility of a third-party run in 2020 that could hurt Democrats?
We have built from the outset, George, a process that is fair and inclusive. And again, I have great respect for Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. She's run a really spirited campaign, and I know she has a lot of supporters. And the reason why we've been so inclusive in what we've done, and that resulted in 21 candidates who appeared in June and July, is because it's abundantly clear to me, you know, all but one of our very, very deep and talented field is not going to make it to the mountaintop. And my goal was always to make sure that every single candidate who runs and their followers understand that their candidate got a fair shake, so that at the end of the day, we are together, united around beating Donald Trump and implementing our vision of inclusion and opportunity. And I'm confident that Congresswoman Gabbard isn't going to run as a third-party candidate because she has said so. She's a very talented part of the Democratic Party family, and everyone in this family is going to come together in Milwaukee and then through the election, because we understand that it's our democracy as we know it that's on the ballot. I mean, this president, this is Hurricane Donald, and it's a Category 5 storm, and in the eye of the storm is our democracy. And we need to take our democracy back. All of our candidates understand the gravity of the moment, and they understand that whoever wins, they're going to be supporting the Democrat. And I appreciate what Howard Schultz did. He was a man of his word. He said, if I can't win and I'm only a spoiler, I'm not going to run. And so I very much appreciate that he kept his word.
Chairman Perez, we'll see you in Houston on Thursday.
Look forward to it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.